We are live. We're live, and the dog knows we're live. All right. Jazz Bomb Mike is here to take a valuable airtime.
Hey!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Valuable airtime to shill his new Substack. And I think you got to explain what Substack is, because I don't know if a lot of people know what it is.
Okay, so I'm going to be very long-winded here. Okay. Over, I guess, the past year, probably longer than that, Felipe has been following like writers on Substack, music writers, vinyl, reviewers. What is that? What's up, Mazzy?
It's a fake background, but it kind of looked Mazzy. I don't think you thought this out very well.
Yeah.
He's behind me.
Yeah, I know. He's behind you in lots of ways. All right,
Mazzy, I'm here to promote my Substack. So Felipe has kind of got me aware of Substack, and there are a number of writers. And when we did the Strata East thing, before we interviewed Ched Tolliver, we there was another kind of big roundtable, and it was all Substack people, like just people writers on Substack. So I knew of it, and I started exploring it. So I just dipped my toes. I am obsessed with it. Within this past week, I've written 3 articles. I've done an album review. I've done just kind of like vinyl journey stuff that, I've just been diving into and just kind of writing about it. And I absolutely love it. And the response has been really positive so far. So I just wanted to come on and promote it and just kind of share some links. And I did just want to show the articles really quick, just so people can
Why don't
see
you
it.
explain for us, myself, and everyone else what Substack is?
So this is my Substack like page. So it kind of looks like a Twitter page, right? But like it's really kind of geared towards long form content, although they're kind of trying to make it a little bit more catch-all. So I guess they attract more people. But essentially it's like a journaling platform. So sorry, it's like crazy on my end here, but I have, so this is these are my articles. I just posted this morning. It's an album review. This is a limited release of 500. This is a all analog from recording to lathe thing of these 2 players. One's a Rhodes player and one's a trumpet player. It's a beautiful album. There's only 21 copies available, and I got a promo. So I talk through like how I got the promo, who connected me with who, kind of just take everybody through my experience with it, talk about what I think of the record. And it's really been fun to do. I mean, it really adds like a level of thoughtfulness to my listening that I just absolutely love. So
it does look like a blog. It does look like blogs.
It's like a blog, and the response has been really positive. So this is the album. And then I did one a couple days ago. I've been getting into Mary Lou Williams, particularly in her 40s. So like in the 1940s.
By the way, one bought, I don't think anyone bought that Mary Lou Williams red vinyl from me. That's a comp of 2 over 10 inches. So
yeah, so I've been trying. So I definitely, there's some records of hers that are expensive that I really would like to get.
Sorry, is it always just copy, no video, and you include the imagery?
It has nothing to do with the video. This is a totally separate platform. So this is just writing, and then I am aggregating everything and putting it all together and writing it. So this is like, so this is like
a magazine article.
Yeah, it's article. So this takes you through everything. I show kind of clips of the 78 original pieces of Mary Lou Williams. I talk about how she was at the center of bebop. This is all stuff that I'm discovering. So I talk about it through the lens of me discovering it. And it's really just a fun way to write. So I just have absolutely just loved it. And I feel like this has been like a really big eye-opening thing. And I don't, Substack is great. I probably will stick with it. But I feel like in terms of writing and publishing, I am definitely going to continue doing this. I mean, I've been doing it rapid fire because I have so much energy with it right now. This was my first article. It's about this old 10-inch record I found that I was going to do a video on, but honestly, I just never did because I just felt like a video for this was just too much technical detail, and there just wasn't enough visually there to make a video, but perfect for the written word. So I took a few photos. I talk about how I discover it, why it's important, who the artists are, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. So it's been great. And yes, I would love to do liner notes. My long-term goal is to do liner notes. So I'm going to drop links to my Substack. If people could go, and if you're not on Substack, there's other authors like Sid Schwartz, Harmony Holiday. These are jazz writers. Sid is like a vinyl guy, so like follow him, follow me. Drop a comment.
A lot of established media people have gravitated to Substack.
There's a lot, and there's also drama on it, which Mazzy, I'll share some screenshots with you.
Why do you point to me? So
because I already shared them with Rob.
This is probably the main competition is probably Record Collector News.
No. Can I put in my 2 cents here? So Substack is phenomenal for writers. It's just the best thing in the world for writers. I subscribe to a number of writers, and I actually, pay $5 a month for their writing. It's probably the best way for really good writers to get paid. Kind of like,
how do they get paid?
I subscribe $5 a month.
Oh, I see. You subscribe per writer?
Per writer.
Yeah.
Mine is free. Mike.
Yeah. Actually, mine is free. Mike will pay you to read his Substack.
So I subscribe to a couple of political guys.
Look, maybe in the future. Well, I was just gonna say maybe in the future I'll turn on the monetization piece of it. But right now I really just want to get content out there, get people following me, get people excited, and then if there's a way for me to like do something that adds value, I could figure that out. But that's long term. Right now, I really have no desire to monetize this. I just want to write and get my thoughts out there.
So, do you think who writes for me? Go ahead and put it up on your Substack too, and do the long version on Substack.
Yeah. Do you think this will be a change in your life from being a advertising strategist to move over to the copywriting side?
No, but maybe when I retire, I can make a little income from this, like in 20, 30 years. But I will say so the other thing that I've been playing around with is obviously we have the Jazz Bums channel on YouTube. I feel like the channel itself, the conversational aspect of it is its strength. So doing interviews, doing live streams like this, obviously we can, we have the 3 of us, so we can always kind of have a conversation about any topic. But I feel like I've been making solo content for the channel sometimes. And honestly, I feel like it's fine, but it's just me talking to the screen, which I feel like in these kind of really detail-rich topics that it really does allow me, and plus I can do it whenever. I don't need to find time to record. I can just, at night, I could just write, which is what I've been doing. So it allows me to do this whenever. And I do really feel like it's super rewarding. It makes me really think about things in a different light. So anyway, I'm still discovering it. So like, I just posted my first album review. I just wanted to see like, how would I do a review? So like, I just tested it. I got a promo of this recently. So anyway, so
what are you doing? Like 250 to 500 words type of thing?
I don't have any limits. I just basically break it
longer than that.
It's definitely longer than that. I break it out by sections. So I talk first about how I came into the album. The next section is I don't even know who these artists are. So I say like I'm not familiar with these established artists. This is what I think about them. Then I talk about them. Then I talk about the album itself and the music. Then I talk about the production piece of it, because all like audiophiles would love the production aspect of this. It's recorded to tape. Everything is all analog. It's limited. It's a duo. They're playing really cool, songs. The trumpet on this sounds incredible. This is a cool album. So anyway, so I thought this is something I really like. So I just thought let's do an article on it. I have other promos here that I'm not as enthusiastic about. So I'm not going to focus on those. I really want to focus on the passion, whatever kind of moves me, and really focus it on that. So hopefully that comes through in the writing and people like it. So anyway, so I dropped a link. Please check it out. I started a week ago and I have about 50 subscribers already. So I feel like I've been having some early success, which I'm really excited about.
Substack is fantastic. It's the best thing out there.
I assume, is there an app? Is there a Substack app?
Yeah. But based on that, you know what? Because Jim heavily edits the Boomer Scalper articles, I might put up the Boomer Scalper on the
You should.
It's overly edited.
And
Well,
what's
I've
great
been
about
editing.
it, what's
You
great
should.
about it politically, this is the only political thing I'm going to say. No, Rob doesn't like this, but you're not going to get any MAGA people following there because they can't read.
Well,
I
the other
follow
thing is,
Robert Reich on Substack, and I follow Ted Gioia, the media, the music guy.
and Mazzy, there are a ton of political journalists on there because they
everybody.
self-publish.
I'm
All of
aware.
them.
Yeah.
All of them.
So I really recommend checking it out if you're not on there. And then if you're on there, subscribe to me, please. I'm going to try to get an article out. I mean, right now it's crazy. Like I just can't stop putting articles out. But at some point, I'll probably just try to do one per week or one per 2 weeks or something like that.
So you're one of those writers, huh?
I guess so. I just feel like there's like a level of freedom with this that I get that I can just do whatever I want with when I want.
To me,
with
writing
it.
is
So,
like it's like putting needles into your eyeballs.
I just
So
got
the
to
freedom
thank
to
you
do that
from
is go
I
do
got to
it.
thank you from Mike for welcome and thanks for signing up.
Where is it? Did you put it up here?
yeah, so I posted it, and then I'm going to post another link to the new article.
Here's the problem with subscribing to Mike's Substack. So I'll be the devil's advocate. You get a notification when he has a new article, and I think it's just an email from Mike going, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And no, it's him peddling his articles.
That's it. So anyway, so I just thank you, Rob, for letting me take a little bit of time to promote it. So what else is going on?
Oh, you did set it up for money.
Wait, I think we talked about it the other day. First of all, did anyone see? I don't know how many sports people, but it was on the news. Some fan at a Pittsburgh Pirates game fell out of the stands.
That happens.
That was crazy.
That can happen.
Yeah, that was one thing from yesterday. But Mike had commented on a thread we're on that obviously with the tariffs and shit, the supplies needed to make vinyl records will be heavily impacted. And I think I kind of mentioned it the other day where music on vinyl decided not to ship to the US anymore.
I read that on your stream. There was someone that posted that they wrote to Music on Vinyl, said they're not shipping to the US for the time being.
And if you
what the heck's going on with Vinyl Me Please?
Well, wait, hold on. We're talking about this thing. Stop changing the subject. We talked about Vinyl Me Please the other day. You were here watching and participating.
I don't get it.
You're so angry.
The reason why this came up is I was just reading the news and they were saying how like the ports are expecting a slowdown and it's going to affect supply chain. And the last time the supply chain was affected was during COVID, and look at what happened to kind of vinyl manufacturing. So I just connected the two. I don't know if it's actually going to do it.
It might be back to resurrecting the prices of vinyl, but think about this. It's not just the supply chain. We're not getting stuff. They're firing the people that route it across our country. You know, the truckers and the all this other stuff, the laws they're passing. So I don't know what's going to happen, man.
It's morning, Harry.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you're just upset. You're just upset. You only can get 2 toys instead of 30.
I'm super stoked. Yeah. Check this out, folks. Whoa. Fuckers. That's Record Collector News down there.
Nice.
New issue.
That's the new paper. And this is the earliest. This is the earliest I've managed to get it on the street since before the pandemic. So
why is that?
We've been late every single time. Well, because it used to be before the pandemic, my printer was 24/7. That he worked 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if I gave him files, I could expect them within a few days. I'm a shitty little job, so I don't get priority. Now they don't work on weekends. So if I give them a file on Thursday, I don't see it until Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. And that's the way it is. But it was really bad at one time. They didn't have the paper.
How long before you go totally digital? That'll never happen, will it?
I had a phenomenal, fantastic website. It was gorgeous. Nobody went there. and not, I print 15,000 papers, and I was only getting 2,000, 3,000.
Oh, wait. If here's a comparison: the young go-getter that is Jazz Bum Mike, compared to the old non-go-getter, which is Record Collector News Jim,
newspaper guy.
What?
So yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait. Let me finish talking, please.
Okay.
So Jim, Mike posted a link to a Substack. You were so heavily patting yourself on the back that you created a link to subscribe to Record Collector News. Are you sharing it here? Can you share it in the chat?
Certainly.
Thank you. I'm helping you.
Moi.
All right. Hey,
got a lot of nerve there, Rob, to try to help them out.
I'm trying to help people.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I don't know. I'm going to start a Substack where I complain about it. Hey, so I hung out with my friend Brad yesterday. They put this out in 2018, mastered by Kevin Gray, this Vince Guaraldi classic, and they've pressed it on yellow vinyl. So I'm going to open this right now. This is coming out. This is a very good reissue. I think they put it out on red vinyl.
Who's on the cover with Linus?
Yeah.
Who is
that's Schroeder.
Or Schroeder, I mean.
That's Snoopy as Vince Guaraldi.
Oh, see, with the mustache, I didn't recognize.
Somebody put out a Vince Guaraldi Snoopy record like every 3 weeks.
Just about.
Well,
they did a 10-inch.
Okay,
for Record
let me
Store
explain.
Day.
Let me
Kraft
explain.
Does it?
Hold on. Can I talk? So for Record Store Day, there were two different ones. One that was owned by Kraft, and for some, I don't know the legalities of it, but Mendelsohn, who produced the TV show, somehow they had rights to songs through the show, and they put out, I think it was like a 10-inch or an EP.
Yeah.
This one, the reason my friend Brad's company is able to put it out, Omnivore, is this was done on Warner Brothers. So Warner's has a couple of Vince Guaraldi Peanuts titles. I think they have more than one. So I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know how they got it, but I'm opening this to show you.
You're gonna damage that cover with that box cutter.
I've seen guys slice their freaking carotid artery.
Listen, I've been doing this for 4 years, people. On
your face.
My hands are fine. I just opened it without damaging the cover or the vinyl. Okay.
Don't run with it.
Oh, all right. Look, I think this is the first they've done this. So this is a nice printed inner sleeve with all the Omnivore titles. There's some liner notes. And let's look at the really beautiful, sexy vinyl. There you go.
Very nice.
So they, on their reissues, they do not include like Rhino. They don't do the original labels, so their own.
I want to say, can I ask a question? I think colored vinyl sounds the same.
It does.
I don't think it's
for the most part.
Black
If
vinyl.
everything. If the vinyl is good, yes. If the
Jim.
vinyl is good, yes.
Yeah.
Black is colored vinyl, people.
Yeah, black is a color.
I think Angelo should do his next record on PP Yellow.
I have apostrophe.
This is not PP yellow.
I have the
This
splash.
is not a dark, rich amber. This is a yellow.
That could happen. That could happen.
What's up, Bobby?
So go get this reissue. It's
Woodstock Yellow.
Harry, are you familiar with Substack?
No.
We were just chatting about it. I started writing kind of long. It's like medium form. It's not like long form like New Yorker pieces or anything like that. But it's a writing platform, and I started writing it. So I came up here to shill for people to subscribe to me. So anyway,
here's something
cool.
I was thinking of marketing wise. What if someone like you you can get a QR code link to your Substack, correct?
You can make a QR
definitely.
code for anything, like
Right.
the adult diapers you wear. We can make a QR code for that.
So that's what they're called?
The used ones. But I'm trying to get people to put their QR codes in their ads.
Sure.
Yeah,
I always thought they were called queer codes.
they should.
That makes more sense now.
starting-
There are QR code generators.
My
In
graphic
fact-
designer can make.
In fact, if you're a user of Canva, which I'm a big proponent, sign up for Canva. It is the best way to even edit your videos and make intros and all that. I make my thumbnails and through Canva. They have apps you can integrate into Canva. There are QR code generators. If Jim was some sort of marketing marvel, he would print out a QR code and put it somewhere in the background of his dwelling.
So how much does that cost?
What?
Well, there is a free version of Canva that's limited. You can't use all their bells and whistles, but you can sign up for it affordably. I mean, it really is the days where people used to pay all this money to use PowerPoint or any multimedia kind of use app like Photoshop. Canva is all in one, and you know what? They're an Australian company, and Australians don't have a lot to brag about. But that company does a good job. Canva, big Canva.
Is there a way you could put like a link or a QR code to it for us?
No, you'll have to actually do your own due diligence. We're here to still for Jasmine Mike.
I've never used it.
Yeah. But Jim, they should definitely be putting, if they have stuff they want to drive people towards, they should 100%. I mean, they could put the URL, but QR code as well.
What does the URL do? We're starting to get QR codes, which is awesome.
I mean,
it's great.
You know, there's no one on this planet that has the ability to type out a full URL.
Thank you, Analog October Records. Somebody's on the ball.
But yeah, that's a good point, Jim. People should be using them.
I think we're going to see a switch over. It is nothing to do it.
Well, I mean, you're even seeing them on TV commercials now.
Yeah, the only thing is they take up a little more space than a URL, so I have to charge a little more.
Everything's changing, Harry. The next thing is they might give women the ability to vote, Harry.
Oh, well, I'm going to Canada if that happens.
I have a pathway. My father served in the Canadian Navy in World War II. I think it cost me $300.
Yes, go become Canadian.
Dual.
Okay,
all right, guys, I do have to. I have to run. I have a meeting in 8 minutes. I need to prepare for, but I'm going to show one last time. I started a Substack. There's 3 new articles. I have another article in the pipeline. I'm going to drop a link to the latest article. Rob, thank you for letting me.
Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, no, it's been great. So thanks, everybody.
I'll check it out.
Super cool.
I'm going to go on the Jazz Bums tomorrow night to promote my line of panty liners.
Well, there used to be a singer by the name of Candy Kane, a blues singer.
Mm-hmm.
You ever hear of her?
Wasn't she a sax player?
And she was a stripper.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
She also was a blues singer. When I left the LA Weekly, we used to work together. I set her up with a 976 number to sell her panties for $2.
Are they edible?
Hey,
not for $2. What do you want, Harry? Seriously, Jesus.
Jim, can you do the same thing for Mazzy?
Not anymore, man.
You know,
not anymore.
Mazzy should sell his used hats.
Harry should be nowhere near AI and these things. He made this. He made this. We're apparently Rachel is hosting a debate, a Beatles, not debate, a trivia with Harry and I. And he has a picture of a guy with a martini and a hat. You know, obviously doesn't look like me, but it represents me. And then this skinny guy with glasses that supposedly looks like Harry, but looks more like Steve Carlson.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm sorry, Harry. Harry, you're not skinny. You're not fat.
Hey.
Wait. Hold on. So that doesn't look like Mazzy. It looks like Hunter. It looks like Hunter S. Thompson or something.
Well, I don't have round glasses for one thing.
It's
am I wrong? Movie where they
God, come on, people! It's a fucking AI.
Say, can you do it again and add
tries again?
Hold on. Can you hold
for 16?
Can you hold it back up? Can you hold it back? It's Hunter S. Thompson debating Jazz Bum Mike about Substack.
Exactly.
There you go.
It looks like I thought it was Steve Carlson, but Mike works too. Yeah.
So this is going to be next Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Really?
Yes, and Rachel's
Front
gonna
door.
be the game show host,
The moderator, yeah.
Who
and
is?
she's
Rachel.
creating the questions. So there's going to be 25 questions that deal with the 1960s music and or Beatles.
Oh, it's
And
not
Mazzy
just
and I
Beatles.
are gonna
It's
go-
not just Beatles.
It's not just Beatles. It's
Well, you
60s.
sucked me in saying it was Beatles. Now
I
you're
did not
switching.
suck you.
So are there going to be
You
questions?
said it's a Beatles trivia. I mean, a Beatles trivia contest.
Yeah, I pivoted.
All right.
I
right.
pivoted. Yeah.
I'm game.
questions.
So,
like,
anyways, the question is, if I put this up to advertise it, do I do it on StreamYard or do I do it on
No, you do
YouTube?
it. You do it on YouTube, and you do it on
You
Instagram.
know, well, okay. Here, let me explain the cold hard facts of life to Harry. If you post a post like an Instagram post, which is probably the best place to do it, I feel that the community post on YouTube is worthless. No one looks.
Oh,
at
I
them.
don't agree.
Well, you
Not
have a
for
lot.
me,
of
at least. Maybe you don't have enough people watching your shows.
Mazzy, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where do you get more response, on your videos or on your community posts?
Well, of course. I mean, on videos, of course.
Right. So for people like,
but I get a
Harry,
lot when I do a.
All right. Hold on.
What you're at? You want me to answer you?
You said yeah. It was a yes or no. But here's another question.
But I did. But you don't just stop with one platform. You keep going.
No. Well. That's my follow-up question. Where do you get more response, Instagram or a YouTube community post?
Instagram.
Okay. So my point to Harry, who's a fledgling small little channel, is do it on your Instagram. That's where I feel is best for posting.
So I'll
You
put
can
it
do
there,
both.
and then
You can do it both.
I
It's
can
free.
also put it on.
I mean, okay, do it both, but he's going to get better response on his
Here's why you do it both, because not all your Instagram people follow you on your YouTube channel, and the people that follow YouTube channel who will watch YouTube will see that post there. So you have to do both. It doesn't cost. It's just double up the post.
But Harry, sign up for a Canva account, take that picture, and make your thumbnail for the live stream. Are you doing it on your channel? Or
I think I'm doing it on my channel, and then I'm just going to send a link to Mazzy and Rachel.
Okay, you're doing a StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I think we'll do is she'll ask the question, and then each of us will write down our answer.
Wait. Now you're adding things to this.
Because otherwise it's like the first one to blurt it out. So let's write it down. Then hold
I thought it was.
Harry, can I make a suggestion? Because your videos are generally boring.
Thank you.
Get 2 shock collars. You each wear them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Whenever the person gets the wrong answer, Rachel can hit the button.
Wait a second. Now you're adding all these little things to. You're like Trump when he comes to debates. You just want to change the rules for yourself.
And you have to have a martini while you're playing.
Well, that's it, but not at 9 a.m.
You're not a martini. You're not a martini guy, Harry.
No, but
his wife is.
When I first suggested it at 9 a.m., he said that's martini time.
Yeah, I don't drink in the morning.
He's a day drinker.
5 o'clock.
You can make me small.
I'm not a day drinker, except like
now, Harry.
A Sunday afternoon with friends. That's about
coffee.
It.
Bailey's.
Iced coffee.
Bailey's.
Oh man.
What other?
Here's an example of a question.
No.
What is Paul McCartney's middle name?
Joseph.
Paul.
See,
Randy.
I won.
Okay.
What's his first
there's
name?
no point in playing anymore.
It's James Paul McCartney.
James Paul. All right.
So I won.
Why did they start
calling Paul McCartney's?
Because his father was Jim, I think.
Father's line in Hard Day's Night.
Whose line?
His father was not in A Hard Day's Night.
Okay, all right then.
Grandfather.
Wilford Bramble played his grandfather.
Okay, what was that guy's line? Most famous.
Well, there's a bunch of lines. The clean
I
old
bet
man
you're
thing?
a good swimmer.
I bet you're a good swimmer. Yeah, that one.
My brother and I say this to each other ever since 1964 or whatever. We say, reading a bleeding book.
Yeah.
Reading the bleeding book.
Reading the bleeding.
He was a
Going
real mixer, wasn't he?
parading too. Yeah.
He's very clean.
That's my favorite person in that movie.
I wish they would redo Hard Day's Night and put a colorized version out there for us.
Are you
let's
kidding me?
let's put the Beatle cartoons back up on TV.
Well,
they were bad.
They
were terrible.
Yeah, but
every
That's why the monkeys were able to.
It was like the same guy did every voice.
Yeah.
Okay, Music in the House, that would be.
But they were bad, but they still
John and
deserve
Yoko.
to be out there. I agree. They were bad, but when you're a kid, they were fun.
I'd like to see the commercials too.
Yeah.
Like at the same period of time, or maybe a little later, there were the animated Jackson 5 and then Osmond cartoons. Those were done by the Rankin Bass, who did the stop motion holiday specials.
That's so funny.
Music in the House, there's not one. McCartney played drums on Back in the USSR. He played drums on Ballad and John and Yoko. So there's at least two. There's probably more too, but those two.
Why did he play drums on those?
Because he's like
you can tell.
Drummer in the band.
I love.
What's the only Beatles song that none of the Beatles perform musically on?
Well, you're going to say Revolution number 9, but it's not totally true. But Revolution number 9.
No, it wasn't. Well, what was it? God, I can't think now.
Was it when they were
Good night. Good night.
Plays guitar on
Good
it.
night. Good night.
Okay, it might be right.
Yeah, it's orchestra. See, I'm winning already.
Yeah. Wait, just wait.
You're going to be so tired of my winning, Harry. I'm going to be winning so much that.
Yeah.
You're going to not even be. You're going to maybe get more than 2 toys this year.
Anyone see
dumb fuck comment of that is, right?
Yeah, Bernard Purdy. He didn't. Did he play on any Beatles song?
No,
He's so full of shit.
I don't know what he must have like a little screw loose or something.
He's still a
great drummer.
You know, I just realized that Muhammad Ali, the jazz albums, is not the boxer. He's actually a drummer.
Muhammad Ali on a jazz record?
He's a drummer.
Really?
Come on, Rob, back me up here.
All right, let's go fact check Harry.
I don't know, but I didn't know there was a drummer named Muhammad
Rob
Ali.
showed a jazz album last week, and the drummer on the
it's a Muslim name
that was not the boxer Muhammad Ali.
There's Idris Muhammad. There's a lot of Muslims.
There is a jazz drummer named Muhammad Ali. It is not the boxer.
Oh, okay.
Winner.
It's a Muslim
you know what, Harry? I'm going to say something. You tell me if it sounds like something the boxer Muhammad Ali would say.
Okay.
I'm too pretty to play drums.
I'm super fast.
Sting like float
Yeah.
like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
I have a question for Angelo Kelly. So Angelo Kelly was trained by international superstar drummer Billy Cobham, right?
Cobham.
Really?
Angelo, did Cobham ever tell you stories about Bernard Purdy?
Cobham cheated.
Is it okay if we give Angelo a link?
He's a lefty, and he played a right-handed drum kit.
Is he asking for one?
Huh? I don't know. Angelo, come on up on screen if you can.
Yeah, if you want a link, I'll send it to you, Angelo. You just have to profess your love for me.
All my life, I could not figure out Billy Cobham, and then I saw him live in a little club. He's a fucking lefty playing a right-handed kit.
That's what Ringo did.
Yeah, well, Ringo was forced to play right-handed by his aunties and shit because they thought the lefties was the sign of the devil.
Well, it is true.
Other than that, but yeah, I was so amazed to see Cobham playing a right hand. The kit set up for a righty, but he was playing it left-handed. So there was no crossover.
Why did he? Well, look, I understand why people would just start yelling at you upon meeting you.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Why was this the case?
Interrupted the workshop, that kind of a thing. When he
you know what? Here's my theory on why Bernard Purdy started yelling at Angelo Kelly. he started peeing once he walked into the room.
Jeez.
Yeah, Cobham.
He's gonna wish he never told us about that
Mhm.
song, but he probably already does.
He cheats. Cobham cheats. That's all I can say.
I'm gonna buy that new Pink Floyd record for
It's
sure.
very good.
Hey, I was
So-
just watching that video of Pink Floyd up in San Francisco.
The
It's
KQED,
great.
yeah.
It is great shit, man.
KQED, that was the public broadcasting station. They did a lot. They did. There's stuff of the Airplane, of the Dead, of Quicksilver, of Pink Floyd. I remember when they broadcast those shows. The Pink Floyd one was taped at the old Fillmore when Bill Graham moved to the Fillmore West. They used that location to film it. And before that, Ralph Gleason had all those great jazz things at KQED with Coltrane, all that jazz series. So there's a lot of great footage of music from the time.
So
That's
I
a
was
dual 1229 right there.
before the stream. I was watching the In Groove's new release video.
Yeah,
and he said that the Blu-ray, which comes out, I guess, tomorrow too, has the unedited concert without any of the other footage.
Yes.
What year was the KQED?
70 or 71.
Hold on one second. Can we all wish Angelo Kelly, more importantly, his wife,
Happy anniversary.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go make another child.
Yeah, you get a if you get 17, you get a medal from Trump.
No, Musk. You get one from Musk.
You know how much it costs to raise a kid?
Well, hold on. I have something to point out. Rocco, it is the Strata East reissue, and the Jazz Bums promoted that heavily. They even had Charles Tolliver's son, Chet, on along with Kevin Gray promoting it. Why didn't you get it based on their recommendation, or do you not watch the Jazz Bums?
Hey, Auchenfield, the Pink Floyd wasn't a show. There was no audience. I mean, aside from the crew and KQED people, maybe a few reviewers, whatever. So it wasn't like an early and late show. It was, they were in the studio and they just filmed it all. So there wasn't an early and late show. It wasn't a live gig. They were playing across town at the Fillmore West the next night. That's why they were in San Francisco.
And I, on the other hand, on October 16, 1971, saw them at the Santa Monica Civic with a huge audience, and I sat front row center.
Nice.
Hey, Angelo Kelly, is it at a time like Harry did and get the ball snipped off? Or Jim? Sorry.
Now, Fluffy, why is it dumb they didn't have an audience? I think it's like
My
I
balls are
like
already
that.
snipped off. What?
They
like
didn't
that-
snip mine. After a couple of weeks, they fell off.
I like that Pompeii
Right.
doesn't have an audience. I like it. It's essentially a studio recording, but outside. And then because they did overdubs on.
Kind of like
Pompeii.
get back or
Well,
Yeah.
What? How long was the actual show that they did at Pompeii?
Well, it wasn't they filmed it over 4 days.
Okay.
Okay. So they repeated songs, but the same group of songs.
So
And
the standalone show of them playing is how long? Do you know?
I don't know how long it is, but it's 1, 2, 3. It's probably just under an hour.
It's a double album.
But the
That's
double,
an hour.
yeah, and the double album side 4 has two outtakes or alternate versions of the song because they repeat the songs. Yeah, Pompeii is in Italy.
Man,
Yeah, but Greece is right across
look,
the
you
water.
make very rare appearances here, Baggy. And when you do, you have incorrect
To
information.
say that it's near Greece, it's saying, okay, America's near Canada.
Yeah,
It's like-
It is. But it
Yeah,
is.
Fair enough.
It's near
Fair enough.
Russia.
Well, it's near Greece, Patrick. I mean, it's across, but it's a weird thing to say. It's kind of like I live in Washington. It's near Oregon, or near Canada.
Now, Rocco, like everyone who's on YouTube, you have to go through mandatory media training. Maybe you can do it too to be like us.
I bet you that is excellent but I will never get a 45. I'm a 33 guy, but I'm
Good
sure
question on
it's a great
Angelo.
recording either way you get it. And I'm sure.
All right, Mazzy, here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
And a young go-getter named Angelo Kelly has a question for you.
It's not analog because Steven Wilson doesn't do the mixes in analog. Steven Wilson did the mixes. It's not.
Well,
Well,
hey, so getting back to supply chain, no vinyl is created in North America. No
books are all made in Japan.
all the pellets are made, but do the raw materials needed to make
The
it?
lacquers are made in Japan.
No,
But the
calm down, everybody. I'm
pellets
talking
come
about
from
vinyl
Thailand.
pellets. Vinyl pellets. Where are the raw materials to make
I think
vinyl
some are
pellets?
made here.
They come from Thailand primarily.
Do they?
They do?
Yes.
What are the raw materials in PVC?
Polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride and shixes.
Shixes?
That's probably the funniest thing you've
That's
ever
very-
said.
that's
There was no
very
audible
funny.
laugh
That's-
for me.
That's very funny.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's very cruel. It's very
Hey.
kind of misogynist.
How are we supposed to believe this when you think Pompeii is in Greece?
Didn't
He's
see all the
correct,
pellets?
though.
Didn't you see all the pellets in White Lotus, the last season of White Lotus in Thailand?
I didn't watch any of that.
Hold on.
I
This
haven't watched it
young
either.
go-getter, Angelo Kelly's next album will be made out of Harry's old shoes.
No,
The joke's on you, Angelo Kelly. Harry doesn't wear shoes.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Oh man.
When I know a good joke, I'll use it first.
Okay, thanks. Actually, I wear Skechers now. The slip-ins, they're so nice.
Well, wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
you
So,
don't ever have to. You don't even
So
need to
petroleum-
go near your feet.
so I don't mean to do a science minute here, but petroleum isn't the only thing needed to make vinyl pellets, right?
No.
No, there's a certain amount of rat feces that's allowed. Hair.
You learn something new every day, Angelo Kelly.
Anyone can sign up for it. It's $40. It's free if you can find it at your
Wait,
local record store.
listen, you idiot. I told you to do it before. Post the link to subscribe. Where is it?
I did.
Put one of them queer codes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Actually, send me the link. Jim, send me the link. Send me the link again, please. And I'll make
Rob's show's
I'm
going
making-
off the rails.
I'm going to make a QR code right now. I'll make a QR code.
Ask me a trivia question. Warm me up. I want to warm up.
Yeah. All right.
How many Beatles were there?
Well, okay. John, Paul, George, Ringo, Pete Best, Sue Sutcliffe, Tommy Moore,
Tony,
Jimmy Nicol,
Okay, Jimmy Nicol,
Angelo Gillespie,
and Angelo Kelly.
Angelo Kelly, young Angelo Kelly. Forgive me.
You know, a good trivia is when you ask people name the 3 Beatle drummers, they never get Tommy Moore.
I don't even know Tommy Moore.
See, that's
He
why
was
I'm
in-
winning. I'm
Was
winning
he
this
in
battle.
Germany?
No,
he was the
he was in
studio
Liverpool.
guy.
Liverpool. Now they may have been.
What
I think
about
they probably were
Andy
Silver
White?
Beatles.
What about Andy White?
Well, he was a session on it. I mean,
Well,
he
that's
played
got to
that.
count.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, then,
Well,
Wow.
Billy Preston was almost a Beatle.
yeah,
He got credit on the record.
he. You know, if they would tour like the Stones and everything else, he would have gone on tour with them. They needed another supplemental musician if they had continued.
Oh, I heard a good one from Mick Jagger the other day. They did an interview with him. He said, one time I did get satisfaction.
But that's an old
He says,
interview.
popping those little bubble wraps.
That was bad.
He did say that though.
He said it, though, not me.
That's an. I've
You
seen
know,
that
at the
clip.
time, it might have been interesting and everything, Harry, but
Well, I know. It's the Rolling Stones. Who cares, right? Except for Bobby Gass.
Hey,
I
the
love
Rolling
this.
Stones became the best rock and roll band by default.
no.
And they claimed it, too.
Why
Yeah.
default?
Because the Beatles split up.
I don't think the Beatles were
No,
rock and roll like
they were
the
more.
Stones.
Well, they were, but they were more than a rock and roll band.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
were this different thing, and they
were a
didn't
legend.
have.
I'm just being.
Anyone see
arbitrary.
the Rick Beato about the age of musicians now versus that was interesting. That was interesting
How is it interesting?
because all of our rock stars, when they were doing their first, second, third records, they were like 22, 23. These people now, Bruno Mars has done 3 records and he's what, 40?
39 or something.
Yeah.
And there's no more bands anymore. Everything's solo. Anything on the charts anyway.
Well, it's solo, and there's literally like 50 producer, arrangers, writers. I mean, that's a cliche, but it's not off. You know, that's the thing. Like, so many cooks to make some of the pop records, at least in the pop realm.
.com. Record Collector Magazine is from England, and those guys are classy and they're for real. Go to recordcollectornews.com, and there's a little button you can push.
I'm doing it right now. I'm making it right now. Hold on.
But if you live on the West Coast, you might be able to get it for free. I'm in almost every record store.
Well, name stores outside of the West Coast you ship to. You ship to stores.
Well, you know, I go to Texas. There's a couple of stores. I go to Dusty Groove in Chicago. A couple of stores in New York. I got a guy in Atlanta who distributes the paper all over. I'm everywhere in Colorado, pretty much.
Can you share? What's your print run usually? Can you share that?
15,000.
15,000?
15,000 papers. There's a pass.
How many returns, or don't they do returns?
I anecdotally, they don't do, record stores. They're sitting on the floor at a record store. So anecdotally, there are not too many returns. If eventually they go, it's a free fucking paper.
Yeah.
So eventually they get picked up.
How come you don't have all the hooker ads in the back?
I don't have, because I'm not timely enough.
Okay.
Remember the old like the Stranger and the Bay Guardian and the Berkeley Barb and the.
Okay.
I was the person at the LA Weekly who put all the adult ads in the back.
Rob wants to change the storyline.
No, I'm not. Everyone take your cell phones out.
Yeah. A QR code? Yes.
Woo!
I already
7 times a year. We come out 7 times a year.
Well, how do we know where that's going to really go, though, Rob?
Yeah, it's going to go right into Rob's pocket.
You don't know, and you should prepare.
Open your camera app. That's how you do it, and you'll see it'll show up.
The problem is if you do that, if you do subscribe to Record Collector News, it only leaves you enough money for 2 or 1 record this year for Christmas instead of 2. But we were going to get 30, but now we get 2 records.
Yeah, but if you celebrate Hanukkah, you will get 8.
Well, but this year you're only going to get 2 records under the tree.
Right. So if you subscribe to Record Collector News, that'll knock it down to 1.
Now, you should do like Rolling Stone used to do. When you subscribe, you get your choice of a free record album.
I was going to try to do a T-shirt or something. Subscribe will give you a free T-shirt, but I didn't.
I got Teaser and the Firecat when I subscribed to Rolling Stone one year.
Really? I subscribed when they were a little newspaper. I actually read.
Yeah, that was back then. You could get Teaser and the Firecat, or you could get what was the other one, Mazzy?
T for the Tillerman?
No, there was 2 albums. One was Cat Stevens, and the other one, I forget who they were.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, me either. I read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas week.
Me too.
As a serial.
And Lennon remembers when it first
Talk
read
about
it.
Great writing. Talk about really good writing as a kid, just sucking it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
There should be something where you could write and put it out there and have people subscribe to it.
I think there is. It's called Stack Sub.
You know what? My suggestion is they name it Substack.
Or Stack Sub is better. I'm going to do Stack Sub for people who spell it wrong. I'm going to do Stack Sub for the typos, and it'll come to me, and I'll make money off of all that.
Buddha and the Chocolate Box is not a great record.
You're going to do a Stack Sub of stacking subs.
Cat Stevens. I love Cat Stevens, but after T for the Tillerman and maybe the one after that, he really went down. He was ambitious, but not in a way that was commercial. Remember, there was Chocolate Box was probably the first one that was sort of going downhill, in my opinion. And then there was the one Foreigner. Is that the one? It's called with a white cover.
Yeah.
And there was the Four Corners with the yo-yo. Was it a yo-yo or a bright colored one?
I was surprised how little his records go for.
Yeah. Well, some of them are the last few records he did under Yusef/Cat Stevens are excellent records. And Paul Samuel Smith produced some of those again. You know, Paul Samuel Smith produced those hit records like T for the Tillerman and Teaser, and he was in the Yardbirds.
Shit, where is it? What's nice is I don't know where it is.
I don't know about Kickbull.
Chad's first high-end thing was T for the Tillerman, and he killed it on that record.
Yeah,
his first high-end reissue.
Marcus, commercial. It's not about being commercial. It's just good music, whether it's commercial or not. I mean, this is my opinion. If you like it, you like it. You know.
In fact,
great records.
Patrick Peacock, one record he recommends that sounds outstanding is the T for the Tillerman, the Monarch pressing, which I have.
It is good. You know, Chad did a good version of it too.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I didn't. I was reading the comments.
And that was his very first.
Was it
Analog Production?
It's a good record. It's a good record.
And Analog Productions did a nice one too.
And, okay, all right.
I said that, Harry. That's what I said.
Can you throw in another trivia question to me? I need to work out this week. Throw me another one, Harry.
Let's see.
I got one. Let me ask.
What was the original title going to be for Abbey Road?
Mount Everest.
It was just going to be Everest.
Everest. Okay. Do I get it for saying
no?
Mount
Because you said no. You have to form it in the phrase of a question.
Okay, what is Everest?
Yeah, what is Everest?
Which Beatle smells the best?
It depends when you hang out with
George, because
George. It would probably be George because all that patchouli and all that incense.
I'm telling you right now, my standard answer to any Beatles question is the dung beetle.
Yeah, no, the saffron, all the
Which record album features 5 Beatles on the cover?
5 Beatles on the cover.
Is it Sgt. Pepper?
Sgt. Pepper's.
Oh no, well, no. Well, hold on.
The White Album.
No.
Hey, Daddy Bog.
Okay, ready?
Daddy Bog, you came at the wrong time. I gave you some time for your Depends diaper commercial. It's later in the show. All right, come back.
Okay, there's 5 Beatles on the cover of Abbey Road, and one of them has a license plate that says LMW.
Oh yeah, there you go.
IF.
Oh, the
Volkswagen.
You know, Harry, if you give away all the Beatles questions now, what's going to happen?
Rachel's going to create the questions. So we don't know.
3 of them, though. You know that you just.
This is a warm-up round. This is like studying for your SATs.
There's only so many Beatles questions you can ask.
Oh, there's a million. There's books of them. I have trivia books on them. You know, this is like studying for your SATs right now.
Mm-hmm. Cramming.
Wow. Oh, don't say that.
Okay. What do you call a dog with wings?
Dog with wings. I don't know.
Linda McCartney.
Oh, that's
sorry.
That's stretching it. Come on.
That was an old joke.
Hey, Harry,
I like Linda.
Wait. Mazzy, based on what you just said, I can understand why people.
I have that book.
I like Linda. Actually, that's a bad.
Is this a good one?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, but it's way outdated.
Of course it is. But
way outdated.
You can't look at any price guide.
But it's not a trivia book. It's a price guide.
But I like them for the discography and shit.
I wouldn't know about the Cure album. name.
This is another one that's a price guide, but it's early
And
price guide.
Panenka.
You know, price. I have
That
those
yellow-
price guide books.
So a friend of Jim's, who I guess is sort of a friend of mine, Bob from Freakbeat.
Oh no, he's not your friend.
So told me, take out that yellow Beatles price guide. He says the best thing about that is how to identify pressings of Beatles records in there.
Well, that one and the Bruce Spicer books.
The Spicer books, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that one too, he says.
Yeah. Well, see, when I first met Dizzy, he had all these illusions about value of records because he had these old price guides from the 1980s or 90s before the internet, and he looked up in the air. So,
See, I need that version that has "P.S. I love you" and "Love Me Do" on it. I do not own one of those yet.
Do you have a picture? Because I've heard about this one, but I've actually never seen one. Is there one of the Beatles VJ albums that has an ad on the back of it?
Yeah, it's in here.
Can you show a picture of that, please?
Well, there's one where the back is blank,
The ad is the common one, isn't it?
and there's the ad back right there
Yeah.
So what is it? Just an ad for VJ
for
title?
other VJ records.
Other VJ titles.
Okay, I thought it was
And
more like a ad for a product or something.
I have never seen an ad back or a blank back in all my years in person. They're pretty rare.
Oh, did I just get?
Hey, look!
Great
If he ever met you, Roger, he'd probably smoke a bowl with you.
And this is a if you like Japanese Beatle records, I really recommend this book.
I have that too. Yeah.
It's really old.
I
but
think there are 2 volumes. I think I have 2
got
volumes.
great information in it.
Now, Harry, is that in Japanese?
No. Hell, this came out in
I mean,
1994, but it's invaluable.
well, how many times have you used it? Actually,
I use it a lot. I mean, anytime I get a Japanese album, I'm looking in there to see which pressing it is.
But if you want the Beatles Japanese albums, the EAS ones, just for the covers and the well pressed vinyl, but the sound, the mastering is and the source is not great. So don't you get the EAS OB Beatle records for your collection for the primary listen copies.
That's cool, Josh. He's got a promo stamped introducing the Beatles.
Nice.
Here's a cool Zappa thing I got. First of all,
right. Way to change the subject.
This is
I actually like the sound of the VJ records.
But here we were talking about guides. Someone asked if I had a Zappa guide. This is the auction, Julian's auction, November 2016, of all of Zappa's stuff.
That's
from
cool.
his house up on Woodrow Wilson. So this is all artwork and stuff from Zappa's house. It's fucking amazing. I mean, pages and pages of this stuff.
Wow. Did you try to buy anything at all?
Hell no. I got the book. That's all I wanted.
I think I have a couple of auction type Beatle related.
I was invited.
Nice.
I think I went to this. I did go to this, which is where I got this. Oh,
Fluffy, I played a Beatle album yesterday.
What was it?
It was a bootleg. It was that Away with Words bootleg that Darren sent to me.
Was it when the Beatles were playing in Pompeii?
Yes. Yeah.
The best sounding version of Love Me Do is from Pompeii. They actually played it when the lava poured all over the people.
It was the psychedelic version. They were all tripping. Ooh. So
was All You Need Is Love, was that recorded, the live broadcast? Was that in Abbey Road where they did it?
Yeah, they were playing
right
to the pre-recorded backtrack that they had previously recorded.
Man, if
They
that question
sang-
was, if that
Oh,
question
man,
was
I
asked
shouldn't-
during your competition, Harry, you would have lost.
They sang
Wow.
live, and I'm not sure if George's lead was live. That might have been on the backing track. I can't remember.
Yeah, Rick's is right. It was the Beatles in Bombay, not Pompeii.
Well, who's that?
That's when I eliminate a troll from coming in here, right when they post their comment. So they have to go back to making another account.
Oy vey, ik heb niks
There was
gedaan.
Johnny and the Moondogs too.
Wow, I
James,
got my,
Oh, you already said that one. Okay.
James, you have to go back to mopping the floors, James.
hey Vance just subscribed to my
Roger.
to my Substack, and I don't have any content, so I don't know what.
There you go, Roger. For you.
Thank you, though.
What Beatle album or what Beatles song is on Three Dog Night Live at the Forum?
Oh God, I wouldn't know that.
That's a
It's
good
for
record.
you.
Okay, it's what?
It's for you.
That's not a Beatles song. It's for you. That's not a Beatles song.
Making up Beatles facts.
For no one.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's
Wow,
treasonous
that's like
in the Beatle community.
There's no song called
That's
"It's
like
for
the
You" by the
third
Beatles.
sign that it's all gone.
I think I like unless he's trying to be one of those pool hustlers.
Where's Beatle Brad when you need him?
Okay, come on. I want to hear the answer to this one, Harry.
Harry's working it. You can find anything you want on the internet. This is fake news.
Did you get shell shocked in the military, Harry?
Okay, right here. It's for you. A song written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney for Cilla Black and released on the Three Dog Night
Okay,
Live
I
at
know
the
what you're
Forum.
talking about. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, it's for yeah. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Legit.
Good. Legit. Okay, Cilla Black. Yeah.
You
okay.
know, here's
I have that
Absolutely.
Cilla Black album actually, so I should have
Not
known
very
that.
here's
good.
an interesting
Very
fact
good.
about- here's
I
an
give it to
interesting
you.
fact about Harry.
Yeah,
Harry can only retain information while he's reading these books
that's
on
a
the
good
toilet.
one. When did
So
you
it's-
know about that?
How many
Have you
times-
known about that
Me?
for a long?
Oh, decades ago.
Harry's gonna have to compete on.
I've
the
never
toilet.
heard that record. I suppose if I heard it, did they introduce it as that? in the
No,
live?
no, they just played it, and then I didn't look at this. Lennon and McCartney, but
Got it. Okay, good one.
thank you.
I pre-ordered the new Zappa record. Very expensive.
What's the new Zappa record? It's like
It's the
The
box
one,
set.
the one from the where he
failed
tried to do
variety.
a TV show. He tried to do a TV. He tried to do a TV show at his
what year?
71 to
Oh,
maybe
early.
3, 4,
Okay.
early 70s, and it's
wakey,
available
wakey,
in-
Doc.
Hey guys,
Morning, Doc. It's
Good
available
morning.
in nine different formats, but if you order from the Zappa.com, they have a format that's only available there.
Got it. Okay.
hey Jim, you maybe explained it
Gonna
before,
be
but
there for a while, Elliot.
can you just say what it is about Zappa's work that just draws you in? Because you're obviously a huge fan.
Right.
Yeah. So what?
What is it?
I can answer this. It's the juvenile lyrics.
Well, I have to admit that emotionally, I peaked at 14. So I love all those lyrics. That doesn't bother me at all. And I can understand why it turns people off, but that's not it.
do, Daddy?
To me, it's the music.
Daddy?
It's the music. It's the editing. It's the attitude. It's the guitar playing. I think he is
He's amazing.
the best guitar player out there, in my humble opinion. I think the difference between Frank live and anyone else live is if you go see any other guitar shark, they're going to play this guitar solo note for note, except for like Jerry Garcia or something.
Right.
But Garcia and
Got
Zappa,
another troll
You're gonna-
here, Rob.
Zappa, you're going to get a
Right
complete.
now,
Also, the thing I like about Frank, Doc, if you want to play with Frank, you had to read that music. He wrote it all out.
Yeah. Like Captain Beefheart. That's something they
Well,
had.
they grew up together. They were.
I know.
Beefheart's father was the Helms Bakery truck driver in the Lancaster Palmdale area.
Yeah, Lancaster.
Oh, that was going to be one of my trivia questions. Don't.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Jim, no one outside of LA knows about the Helm Bakery.
I know about
I
Helm.
know.
There's been a sort of a larger than normal in the last week or a few days troll action happening on videos, at least on my videos.
Well,
Oh,
no,
really?
well, hold on, Mazzy.
Yeah.
There's a difference between people with legit accounts that hate your guts and then people that have made up accounts that
Okay,
hate
true.
my guts.
But
And
a couple of them are not legitimate accounts.
Look, hold on. The main guy who just has a raging hard-on for me is James. That's his real name, everyone. Arnie's name is James. So, James, go back to patrolling the mall for shoplifters and chronic masturbators, because that's what you do best, James. His name is James, everyone.
You know, my favorite Rob the Wax story is when I was in LA and I was in Amoeba. The guy came up to me and said, "Hey, Harry, how are you?" And I didn't know who he was, and he wouldn't tell me who he was. He says, I enjoy your videos. He says, "I'm not a fan of Rob." So I texted Rob. I said, "I met a guy in Amoeba. He said he's not a fan of yours. Any idea who it is?" He goes, "That could be any number of people."
Why does someone even have to say I'm not a fan of someone else?
Hold on, Mazzy. You know this better than anyone else. The power, the energy it takes to be a troll is exactly equal to the power someone who's a fan or a supporter. So it's the same. It benefits us the same exact way on this.
You know, if they would use that energy to actually make content and say something intelligent, it'd be much better.
Okay, I'm going to put this in a cold, hard dollars and facts statement. So James, who must have created at least over 50 to 100 troll accounts to say the same exact stupid ass shit to me, that honestly doesn't bother me. I just think it's hilarious that he keeps trying and shows he's a putz. But you have to go through and see a commercial, right? When you come back onto the stream. And that adds up to revenue for YouTube, which I get a percentage of. So thank you for making me money, James.
My YouTube monetization goes down. Literally, I look at it as like less than it was yesterday.
I got no money.
James.
Yeah, I do think, I agree. I saw Elliot, his comment. It is, to me, it's just kind of sad that these people have so much time and so much vitriol that they're willing to dedicate so much effort to it. It's crazy. It's sad.
A mental thing.
Yeah, I think.
Well, you know what? Here, I'd like to. So here's a new troll that watch this. That's probably Billiam. The guy who wastes the most. Well, he has plenty of time because I can't see anyone hiring him for any kind of job. But Billiam, put that same dedication into sweeping out the stall.
That was
lighting up on Billiam. Okay, he's got to take care of his poor hands.
That's my troll.
Your troll. You know what I have to say to your troll, Jim?
Hi, little troll. That was my troll.
There's your troll.
No, it happens live.
Can I finish talking about Zappa?
Go ahead. Yeah, go back to your stupid Zappa shit.
Okay, so why do I like Zappa? Well, I think he liked me too. No, I don't want to bore you guys, but he discovered the best drummers. He discovered the best guitar players. I mean, he was a musician's musician.
Best. But you got to admit, he was a little quirky.
He was a jerk. He was a complete a-hole.
Also, technically, best musicians doesn't always make for the greatest music.
Well, it's kind of like
but I know. But we're talking about that's true. But this nothing to do with
Fusion, for instance.
Yeah. Hey, Mazzy, can you show all your Hurricane Smith records?
Yeah. Show us some more of those.
Oh, babe, what would you say?
Okay.
Frog hat.
Okay, here's a trivia question for Rob. Don't answer you guys yet. Hurricane Smith. What band did he first produce that became huge?
I know.
I don't know.
Did he? It was it was the English bands, like not Pink Floyd,
Yep.
but
You got it.
was
You got
Pink
it.
Floyd.
Norman Smith was an engineer at Abbey Road, and he worked on the Beatles records. And then he graduated to produce, and Pink Floyd was the first band he was kind of assigned
Oh,
to.
babe.
But then he did his own song, "Oh Babe." Yeah,
that was when I was
I
a
love
little.
Norman Smith.
When I
Norman
was a little
Hurricane
kid,
Smith.
that was a big song when I was a little kid.
Yeah, Norman Hurricane Smith.
Hey, wait. Hey, okay. I want to point out someone in the peanut gallery who I don't think watches the show when it's live. He watches it later, but this is the first time he's here commenting. This Eric Schultz leaves tons of comments on the videos, and they're usually 100% very complimentary and nice. So thank you, Eric Schultz.
Yeah. See, Eric is right on there too. That's yeah. I just don't get it.
Eric Schultz, I don't know what your deal is, but you're the type of person, like most people, who get that almost 100% of what I do here is acting stupid and being humorous. Do not take me seriously when I tell Harry he's an idiot. Don't take me seriously.
Rob, where's this anger come from?
From James. So
We
okay,
can't see the record because there's a
hold
big
on,
white
hold on.
blotch.
Wait,
in the middle
wait. Dr. Robert.
That's better.
Dr. Robert.
And when you put it back in the sleeve, turn it around.
Can I explain something to Dr. Robert? Dr. Robert, this live stream is not like the exit off of an exit off a freeway. You have to say, "Hey, Rob, I'd like to show some records." Not just hold a sign. We'll work for food or something.
I'm just trying to deflect the, let's get off the troll sadness and.
Dr. Robert, repeat after me. Hey, Rob, can I show some records?
Hey, dude, Rob, go check this out.
No, can I show some records?
I got some records here, man.
No, say, hey, Rob, can I show some records?
Rob, may I please show some records, please?
No, you can't.
May I show a CD?
Yeah.
All right, well, I should be honored. There's no piece sticker on the front of that cover.
I think Wanda Jackson, now, hasn't she, Maz, you'll know, she's passed away?
Yeah.
Just
no,
recently.
maybe
I
recently.
don't think, did
She's
she? I
retired.
don't think she did.
No.
I'm not sure if
hasn't.
she did yet, but
Yeah, I don't think she has. But I think she's retired from performance. She's finally.
That's true.
I'm sure she's probably 112.
She is old, and this is not that old a record. This came out 2011. I guess it's over 10 years now. But this is at Third Man Records, and I really like Jack White's kind of taste in music and his approach to kind of acknowledging.
Too bad his pressing plant doesn't press very well.
Well, I've been getting some of those too. You got the Dylan thing, right, from them?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like the record. That one came out well, but I have had some that maybe have a little bit.
They're hit and miss. I'll put it that way. You're right. Some come out well. Yeah.
Yeah. I visited.
Not consistent.
I visited their plant out in Detroit, and it's a little bit of a mom and pop operation. There's about I don't mean that to sound insulting. It's a small-ish company. They had about a dozen people in the back room making vinyl. Yeah. But I still give them a lot of credit. It's just a very cool.
And they really got a lot of yellow paint.
They have, yes. Well, he likes yellow, I guess. I wanted to just shout out to Steven Buxt, if I could, a couple records that I scored when we were in South Africa. And you guys know I've just been cleaning up a storm on my records here the last week or so, with both the Glass Audio Desk and the Humming Guru Nova. And so these I bought almost a year ago. So I'm way behind on cleaning records. This is kind of a post-punk band, Killing Floor, blues reference, and then this is a really good record that I found over there, a South African punk band called Radio Rats, and Steven put me on to both of these, and these were both really inexpensive records. And then, can I show one more, Rex?
Just go.
You know what? the one thing I hate more than anything is when people give stupid things nicknames. When
Scotty
does
Moore.
anyone call a record a wreck?
Now, that's a great guitar player.
Yeah, this I love finding this record. I just recently found this, and of course he was Elvis's guitar player for a number of years, and this is quite a good record. So just a few things that have been in my stacks for a while, and now they are finally cleaned, and they're going to find their home.
Do you subscribe to any purchases through Amazon? You know, Amazon has subscriptions, like monthly. You can get, like, do you get those white stickers sent to you every month?
The white stickers I just buy at Office Depot.
Oh, because you could do
Pretty
an
good name
Amazon.
for a band. White Stickers.
Yeah. Well, I think the Black Keys is a reference to the White Stripes, right? I don't know if that's what you're referencing, Harry, but since we're talking about Jack White, very similar style, and I think their name calls out the White Stripes too.
So you got Black Keys and White Stripes on the piano.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
All
what I got, Wax.
Well, I think you set the VC community on fire with those shows.
How many keys on a piano?
88.
How many? Is that a Beatles trivia that will be in the thing?
Yeah, but it's only related to Billy Preston.
I mean, there are exceptions, but
Yeah.
that's the main. Yeah.
All right, I made a new thing I'm going to put up next time we get James.
Does anybody know an artist by the name of M. Ward?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I love his stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't do he did a great, him and Zoe Deschanel
Yeah.
have a band called, what is it?
He and she.
Yeah.
I like his voice. I saw them play at the Showbox.
There's a couple of folks referencing Jack White not liking the Black Keys, and I know they went through a thing, and I think he felt that they were sort of copying the White Stripes without crediting him. But
Yes,
I think that they have since worked out their differences and now are.
They sound completely different, though.
Right.
So are they gonna? So wait, who are you talking about now?
The Black Keys.
Black Keys. So, yeah.
They didn't. I don't thought they ever had differences. I thought that was sort of a made-up story.
Well, I think there was a moment.
I mean, because they're a duo. You mean, is that why? And they kind of do a bluesy thing.
They're guitar and drums, heavy electric.
I actually like the Black Keys better than the White Stripes.
Well, they're both.
The White Stripes are
like El
sort of
Camino.
brown stripes,
El
though.
Camino is their great album, I think.
I like them both. I like the Black Keys. But
At our age, it's more of a brown stripe.
You've got Nico Case, Peter Buck, Katie Lang.
Wait, Harry, you did not ask for to keep everything fair. You did not ask for permission, like Dr.
I'd rather ask for what is it?
Forgiveness, and not permission.
Forgiveness. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure that's Rob's strong suit, but
what's my?
I don't think he knows the meaning of the word.
What's not my strong suit?
Forgiving things may not. Yeah, just as always, just trying to help, Waxed. Could you go write that on a little stickum and put it on a record cover, please? I think I've already got it somewhere. I don't know.
I'm, Tokyo Record Style. Brian's here, and I just hope he's doing okay and he's feeling better. I know he was going through some real serious stuff there when Fish didn't get nominated to the Hall of Fame.
How can you get almost twice as many votes as the next person
and not get in?
Still not get in.
I still don't get this. Like, oh, well, wait a second. We'll just make up a category and add Warren Zevon and add these.
Can I explain it to you? Will help make sense to your
Nikki
small
Hopkins.
mind.
I mean, they deserve it.
It's a private organization that can do whatever the fuck they want.
That's okay. That's a good answer.
But those words bounce off of my brain, and I don't get it. Why?
It's all about the Benjamins.
Again, let me explain it to you people so you get it. private organization that's designed to make money creates a situation that makes money. That's who the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. They're no different than the Oscars, the Emmys, the Baseball Hall of Fame, all these places.
I watched a video this morning when I woke up. Dom Seeking a Thread had a 30-minute video, and he talks about Record Store Day and flipping and the whole thing. And I tell you, watch that video because he's got the right attitude. Like he's, a bunch of people get so upset. Oh, records to these flippers. There aren't that many of them, and they don't really make that much. And to go stand in line and to do the work to grab the one record at a time, or even if you pay people, if you're going to go through that trouble, all the power to you. I thought it was an excellent video Dom did, and I totally
perform. It's a service for some people.
Hold on. For every person that bought that Wicked soundtrack for $300, that person did not make $10 an hour waiting in line to get it. So also, correct me if I'm wrong, Mazzy. Do records fucking come out all the time?
Yes.
Do people buy them or not buy them?
Yes.
So where do they generally go to get these records that come out all the time?
They get them from Billiam.
So
record stores. I mean,
online.
The amount of anger about stupid shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like ridiculous. Yeah.
I am pissed over stupid shit, though.
Anyway, I'm just.
As someone who has no time for nonsense, I went and waited in a line for Record Store Day. Granted, I waited less than 2 hours to get into the store, but I socialized with friends.
Exactly. All these people that say, "How could you do that? You got to wait in line. It's overpriced." I had the best day with some buddies.
I hung out with Chauncey, and people should have to pay people to hang out with Chauncey.
I know. I mean, I don't.
That is his name.
For a day like you guys do, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not at all judgmental in the notion that it's a fun thing to do. It's just for me. I'm not up to get out of bed at 4:30 and I it's just not the
you
record.
Get out of bed at 7 o'clock for this show.
Question for you, Doc.
And you're home in your pajamas.
I have a legit question for you, Doc.
These are not pajamas.
Doc, I have a legit question for you. What's typically in your history of being a surgeon? What was a typical early call time for you to do surgery?
Oh fuck, we were. My wife and I both talk about this. We were out of bed at 5 a.m. every fucking day.
All right, so if it's your job to flip records, you're gonna get up early to flip records.
I'm not being critical. I said I'm not. I just at this point in my life, and it's just never been. I like digging through old used records. That's my thing.
That's my.
But we used to get up. We used to get in line. I was in line 2 days for Springsteen tickets in '88. I mean, we used to do it for concerts.
That's stupid.
That's different though too. That's a. But
my son, I remember my son going down to the Sony store at the Metreon in San Francisco, like the night before, waiting for the PlayStation videos coming out. When
my kid did that.
So I.
Right. Well, in Black Friday, right? Post Thanksgiving, everybody's out shopping bargains. I don't know. People are. People are passionate about certain things that don't necessarily.
I saw many VC videos where people said, "I slept in, I got up at noon, I went to the store, and I got the records I wanted."
Exactly.
Yeah, but they wanted shitty records. If they wanted the good stuff, they didn't get it.
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
No, I didn't get the All Things Must Pass. I couldn't find it, and I was not going to pay flippers. I was looking.
I would say there were less than 10 albums that were hard to get if you didn't get up early, like the Wicked, All Things Must Pass. There's a few. Pharaoh Sanders, yeah, but not many. Most of the stuff you can still get. You can still get Ry Cooder, Joni Mitchell. There's great stuff, and it's good stuff. Dom says in that video, he almost tried to cancel. He bought the Sun Ra box. Then he realized he didn't really need it or want it, but and it's gone down in price apparently online.
Well, I
I
just
think
bought.
Dada went down. I think it's going for $80 now.
The data went up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
But
leveled
it was
out,
$150 record at first.
but it's sold out. That's because
Yeah.
people, at the very beginning, but data sold out all the copy. I mean, you can find it a store here and there. It might be sitting in some indie store somewhere, but it's sold out,
Well, everybody would have had a chance if the In-Groove didn't get 60 fucking copies of it.
But you could buy it there too. But he sold 40 of those the next day online. So
Yeah,
anybody
no,
could have.
I'm just fucking.
Yeah, I know you are. I know.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think a lot of the press runs, they've been more conservative and reduced press runs. With Harrison, I know they reduced from what they used to do with George Harrison press runs. So that's why
I couldn't get the Living in the Material World box set when it came out.
Yeah, really.
That thing went quick.
Well, why didn't you buy it when it came?
Again,
I tried.
I'll say this. It's been.
I bet you
many
that's in stores right now. You could find it.
I've said this, and it's been said many times. RSD was designed to promote mom and pop record shops. You know what it successfully does every time there's an RSD? It successfully promotes mom and pop record shops.
Yeah.
Whether you buy RSD titles that day or just the used records they sell, which they make more money on. So anyone who blasts it misses the point of it. Okay.
I totally support that concept, Boac. Just
Record collector news has been around the exact same amount of time as Record Store Day, and Record Store Day is probably responsible for $50 million in record sales. Record collector news is, I can verify that we're responsible for $50 worth of record sales.
And I heard some information about Record Store Day. Actually, what I had heard, and it's from a good source. It was 20% down from last year.
Really?
Yes.
That's too bad. It sounded like it was quite a success. I mean, I've talked to several.
Well, there's several factors that could be determined why. I can't honestly believe it's because of the lack of good titles.
Right.
But here's something again I've heard that Record Store Day, the organization is being more selective about, oh, hey, hold on one second. I just want to do this. So give me a second. I'm banning this person, and I have a new overlay for this person. James. Okay, thank you. All right, so getting back to it, Record Store Day has every year been more increasingly selective on the type of titles they take, which by looking at the list, you would never guess. But they have had it. They've had it up to here with live jazz titles. And the one fact that I can point to is next week, I believe, Elemental is putting out a live Art Pepper double album that walks, talks, and looks like a Record Store Day title, but it's not. So I have to imagine Record Store Day turned that title down. They said
Isn't
no.
that in Scandinavia somewhere?
It's Copenhagen. It's like an afternoon in Copenhagen.
And then they're doing Record Store Day first. I haven't seen any of those get reissued.
Oh, some of them have, yeah. But the thing is, you don't know if it's going to be 6 months or 3 years. Yeah, and I think it depends on how it sells initially. That's sort of like caveat. But there's even been some exclusive Record Store Days that a year or two later it comes out, a different version, a different edition.
What is that?
That is a Peacock.
Really?
Is it on the route? Can you go?
I don't think Puzzle's going to get out very soon, but we'll see.
He's eating the chicken food.
Can you take a picture with take your phone out there and take a picture of it?
Every time
you get them to open up like it's NBC.
Here's why Jim's a bad guy. When we drive around his neighborhood, he goes, "Oh, look, peacocks." He drives as fast as he can. I take out my camera and try to take a picture of him.
I like words ruin music. Copenhagen is next to Chicago.
Yeah,
That's
there
good.
you go. Did you save the peacock from out of the jaws of an alligator, Jim?
Dude, those are fucking modern dinosaurs. Those things are huge.
He's right outside my back door.
All right. Let's see.
I mean, there's a
Who came
Hold on,
up with the name Peacock?
Quiet.
Well, no one's ever met you and called you that, Harry. Let's see. There he is.
Nice.
He's gonna attack Jim and eat him. Go for the face, Peacock.
Now, is that just a wild bird that's
That's
walking
pretty
through
fucking
your
weird.
yard?
So the story, as I believe it, back in the 1900s, there was a guy who owned a ton of land around LA, and he brought them in. I think that's the story. There are 3 areas that I know of that you can find peacocks out and about in LA. There's Palos Verdes. There are peacocks there. That is probably one of the nicest places in the LA area. You're overlooking the Pacific Ocean there.
There's a nice
That very wealthy area where Jim lives. And then in Pasadena, there are wild peacocks running around Pasadena too.
Shit. My next door neighbor, I have chickens. My next door neighbor has chickens. Someone gave my next door neighbor an egg, and his hens hatched it, raised it, hatched it, and now he's just all over wherever. And he goes at night.
You have a whole like zoo back there.
Yeah.
You need to get 2 of every one, Jim, just in case.
And they're good
Just
eating.
in case
That's
you're
another
wrong.
thing. They're
My
good
next door neighbor had chickens for a while, and then they got out of the hen house, and a bald eagle literally killed like all of them in an afternoon, like 6
That's
or 8.
no fun. I used to have a Cooper's hawk that it was just he wanted to kill my chickens, but they were too big. And so my neighbor fed the pigeons. The hawk would kill the pigeons instead because they were easier.
Oh,
Wow. And that guy's making a lot of noise.
I think you have the UCL. I think you have the USC.
It's
Jim, I think you have the USC marching band out your door.
It's the peacock.
well, there's
Look,
They
that
want
one's a small one.
to record another version of Tusk.
That peacock's a small one. They're bigger than that.
Now, do both the males and the females have
that
a big
peacock-
wing tail, or is it just the males?
no, just the males, And what happens is we have coyotes around here, so they can get up into a tree. But if a peacock gets in trouble, they all get together and they'll drive away coyotes. Like 3 or 4 peacocks are badass.
Did you see that video, the elephants during the earthquake?
Yes,
The
that
elephants
was
in the zoo?
awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hold on, Jim.
Very
Can you
cool.
show the elephant in your backyard?
I do have a pig.
Okay.
Now,
Females are called
does the
peahens.
peacock try and socialize with the other animals in your backyard?
They are eating the food. They're like, they're sort of,
But
I don't know. It's a barnyard
Who's going to
situation.
clean up all that poop in your backyard?
There is quite a bit. My wife picks it up every day.
Wow.
Well, hold on. Jim
There
has
you go.
several dogs. Hold on, Harry. Jim has several dogs, a lot of animals, but the most amount of poop in the backyard comes from Jim.
Me personally. Yeah.
Never
right.
get a dog who has bigger poop than you.
So
That
Jim,
is, well, Harry's a wise man because it becomes a poop situation. And you want to minimize that. I've given up completely.
Jim, do you have a set of outdoor speakers for your stereo for the walk around? Like the speakers that are built into rocks and things?
Actually, I don't want to be the guy that plays music for my neighbors.
Oh, I thought you didn't have neighbors.
Oh, hold on,
Oh, no,
Jim.
I do.
Jim, this is a story I've heard many times. Your neighbors don't make that same type of sacrifice to you. So say what they do.
Do they play it loud?
My next door neighbors, you mean the evangelical Christians? They
Yes.
have outdoor prayer meetings, and they'll get to speaking in tongues.
Can you baptize someone next door?
I recorded it on my phone one time. I have
My neighbors listen
Down
to the Beatles every day, whether they like it or not.
To the judgment day.
The evangelical Christians bought me a sign that said, "My neighbors listen to great music, whether they want to or not."
That's kind of good.
Whether they like it or not.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It sounds nice.
They're nice people. We watch their dog all the time.
Hold on, Rex. We just saw it with the Peacock.
Just little tiny poops here.
Yeah, you can pick it up with your hand. But I have Calvin actually.
Or your foot.
Huh? With what?
Or you step on
dog. I don't get the dog as an accessory thing that some people do.
I can see that because the coldness in your heart. But anyway, Harry.
Anyone who doesn't like dogs is not all right in my book.
I like dogs, but I don't understand that, it's like a purse or like an attachment. It's, you know what I mean? The little always.
Okay, Calvin is gigantic, and he will just come up and stand next to me and lean against me. We're pals, dude. We're pals. We are pals. Cats suck. Cats.
Speaking about neighbors and dog poop, I had a situation, and
hold on again.
What did you do to the dog?
Dr. Robert, I have to preface your stories because they typically end up going nowhere, and there's no point.
We have 30 minutes to go.
I gotta make
you
it
have 30 minutes, Doc.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll try to keep it brief. So we walk our dog all over the neighborhood, and everybody likes her. She's known, our neighbors all say hi and pet her. And at any rate, we don't always have a bag, and sometimes she takes a dump as we're walking, and we just kind of nonchalantly leave it, or if it's easy, I can bury it. I'll do that.
Just put it in your pocket for later.
How hard is it to buy bags? You buy those white stickers by the million. Buy bags.
Dr. Robert,
But you don't always have a poop bag.
Dr. Robert, I visited friends and family members with animals. I offer to walk the dog. You know what they have? They have leashes with these little holders that you pull out with bags on them on the leash.
Thank you for all of this guidance. And I knew that I would get lots
this guy comes up here, uses valuable airtime to show shitty records, and then admits to not picking up dog food.
We gotta open this guy's back, but we don't have any anesthesia today. I'm sorry, I couldn't find any this morning.
You haven't listened to the end of the story, so So at any rate, I do try to mitigate the dog poop in some way, but a couple weeks back, it was garbage day, and I took out my garbage, and my garbage is sitting at the curb, and I come out the morning after it's been picked up, and my garbage the bin is empty, except there is one little bag of dog poop down in the bottom.
People do that all the time.
Well, someone has thrown it in there, and I don't mind that, but it was clearly directed at me in a way that, there was a little more of a sign, because they had taken one piece of dog poop out of the bag and laid it on the street right in front of my
maybe it fell out. Who knows?
Well, okay, and I have to tell you, Dr. Robert,
that's a poop troll.
It was worth the $500 round trip ticket just to come up and do that to your house.
Well, might have been a troll. Might have been
up here, at least. It's probably everywhere. There's a whole passive-aggressive series of comments on neighborhood threads where they talk about, someone left, the poop bag in my garbage, my recycling, my this can't, better there than just on the sidewalk, I think,
Well, at any rate.
So Dr. Robert, I have to thank you for admitting how horrible of a person you are.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Do people use poop bags a lot in Tokyo?
Can't say they do, Mazzy. I can't say.
What do they just shit everywhere on the street then?
Hey, wait,
dude, we've got the toilet game mastered here. Come and figure it out. It's awesome
for animals.
Hold on,
They have bidets for dogs.
Hey, Dane,
they do actually.
Dane, can you correct me?
For a dog.
Dane, can you correct me if I'm wrong? But I have to say, how about those Caps? They took the series from the Canadians. But the Canadians are not your team, right, Dane? Correct me if I'm wrong. Just checking. Thank you. Go
I gotta
ahead.
let this.
I was
dog
just
out.
hearing
I'll
that.
be right back.
What that was. I lived for a decade in Boulder, Colorado, and we had a little farmhouse out east of town, and we had to call the freaking cops one night because like one of the neighbors was murdering his wife, and like it was just bloody murder screams coming from their house, and we called the cops, and the cops came, and it was two peacocks mating. Peacocks sound like they're murdering each other when they're mating. I just was hearing Jim's peacocks going off in the background. I wanted to just make a comment on the fish thing. Can I do that, Rob? No.
Go ahead.
I'm asking permission. Yeah. No, it's funny that they've been nominated once for a CD, actually. For packaging once. They put out this kind of interesting CD case. Maybe you had this one. It opens like this on one side, and it opens like, it's kind of a unique package, and this is Hampton Comes Alive, like from the Hampton Theater, right? And it's a spoof on like Frampton Comes Alive, right? That's classic fish.
Hampton, Virginia.
Yes. Hampton Comes Alive, and it's kind of it's beautiful design, and I've never seen anybody do something like this before. And it comes out and it's this crazy puzzle thing, and it's got this really satisfying like magnet on both sides, and then the other side opens up from the opposite direction. So anyway, they lost that one, but they were once nominated for a Grammy at that point. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we all know. So you guys know that the hot they on was it New Year's '94 maybe, and going into '95 at the where was it, maybe the Boston Garden, they rolled around on the high rise, like hanging from the rafters from this hot dog, right, as like a gag. They rode into the concert on a giant hot dog, and the hot dog is hanging in the atrium of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do you guys know this? So right when you walk into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's this giant hot dog hanging from the ceiling. And if you go look up hot dog fish, you'll see them throwing confetti and things off of this hot dog as they're suspended like 3-4 stories over the hall at Boston Gardens. And that's just like one of the silly gags. So it's kind of silly and funny that they, the hot dog's in the Hall of Fame, and they won't let the band in. And, like there was these guys, like they have, I was looking at the numbers. Bad Company, Soundgarden, Cyndi Lauper, I think have all sold in the ballpark of like 30-40 million records. Fish has sold 9. I think I read Joy Division. I couldn't
more
believe
than 9
this.
records.
9 million.
Okay.
And Joy Division, I think, sold less than 1 million, which I kind of found surprising.
How many? But New Order has sold a lot more than that.
Well, that's what I looked it up. How many records does New Order? Okay, well, New Order and New Order and Joy Division.
How many studio?
It doesn't matter.
Not live. Yeah, not live records. How many studio albums does Fish have?
Yeah, I want to point this out because this goes to show how little people know about Fish. Not to call you out on it, Rob, but like it's 16.
I don't know a lot about Fish.
I know, but nobody does. But like to dismiss it. It's not, and again, it's not.
I'm not just
digging
you,
but
Warren
Zevon, 17. It's 17 records.
Warren Zevon
sold
a million. Warren Zevon sold 1.5 million records of all this catalog.
Yeah, there you go. So
let me be clear on this, okay?
Yeah,
I am not dismissing Fish. In fact, they have to be one of the highest grossing live bands in the history of live concerts. I would imagine that what they've grossed from performing live makes a lot of bands that have sold millions of records look silly. So that's my guess.
That was like the Dead.
Yeah, it's not a metric. Yeah, I mean, whether they deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, the amount of money they made, I don't really think should matter at all. And I think Mazzy put it like a week or so ago. It should depend on I guess I don't really. Who cares? But like how much influence have they had? And Fish arguably has not really had that much influence over musical culture, and that's kind of actually a badge of honor in some way. But we all do kind of want to see our heroes in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame validated by their peers, even though we kind of scoff at it.
But they're not validated, but that is not the metric that it takes to get in.
No. Well, no, but to get the little piece of content where hometown hero Leon Russell.
I don't know 100%. all the factors, but I would imagine the deciding factor is that board, and it is made up of a lot of different types of people.
1,200
Writers.
votes, I'm told. 1,200 votes. A guy from Rolling Stone who just wrote a piece about fish getting snubbed is one of the votes. He gets one of the 1,200 votes. Some dude who writes articles for
It's
Rolling
like
Stone.
the Academy. Rob knows that. It's like the Academy.
Yeah, I mean, but again, please understand, and someone gave me shit for saying this all the time, an organization that makes
back
money.
on shit again.
No.
Makes money. I mean, I don't know the whole conception, but it all started with Alan Freed, right?
He's the one who
The
started.
radio DJ, right?
He coined the term rock and roll for rock and roll.
That's it.
Right, but he was a DJ first in Cleveland.
Yeah, he was a DJ.
That was the connection to Cleveland.
He got caught up with the whole early payola
Then
scandal.
but then he left and went to New York and became huge, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say two more things about the fish thing, if you'll allow
Amazon.
me. Yeah, I then I'll be done talking about, because I know you guys, it's insufferable the fandom of this band. But what was it? The one of them is that it's what was I going to say? One of them is that there was an article in GQ just a week before that where they were interviewing Trey, and they were saying, what do you think about them getting validated into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And he was like, oh my God, like, no way. I don't, not us, certainly not us. We've been so left of center for so long, and we haven't made it easy for anybody to, vote for us. And it's a huge honor, but put Chubby Checker in before us, put Chubby Checker. He says here, 1958, he's number one. He invented rock and roll. Joy Division, Joe Cocker, that's 3.
Chubby Checker didn't invent rock and roll.
Chubby Checker, no business.
You guys are missing the point. He's being gracious here. The White Stripes, should I vote for myself? He says, oh wait, I forgot about Outkast. They should be number one. And take Fish off of the thing. So he's incredibly self-deprecating and modest about it, and he appreciates that
as they're about to make $1 billion doing a bunch of dates at that thing in Vegas.
Cool.
At the Sphere.
Yeah, that's doing what they do every year after year after year after year, and they have been for 40 years.
Is there a drummer?
They're not cashing in on anything.
I have a question.
Is it the same drummer, Brian, or do they have a new drummer?
No, and Fish would never be.
Didn't that guy get in trouble with the law, though?
Wait, I have a question for you, Brian.
I can tell you the story. I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay. What period of time were they inactive? I guess they didn't officially break up. They go from Then Trey was successfully doing solo shit, right?
Yes, it's very much like Jerry Band. I mean, they've all had their own side projects, and they all come back together, and Fish is Fish, and the side projects are the side projects. But the band existed from 83 to 2000, and then in 2000, so that's like 17 years going crazy. And then they were like, we need a hiatus. They took a 2-year hiatus with the plan of coming back in full force. They came back in 2002. And in 2004, they said, we're done. We're broken up. We're not going on another hiatus. We've broken up. And shortly thereafter, Trey got arrested on the New York freeway and with like all kinds of narcotics. And he got thrown in jail not in jail, but in this sort of like house arrest thing for a year, got sober, cleaned up the thing, got rid of 3,000 backstage hanger-oners, made spaghetti dinners, made this family vibe backstage, and basically pulled it all back together. And we got, we averted the same fate that we didn't, that we lost with Jerry. So it's amazing what's happened. We're on 15 years post Fish getting back together, and it's a beautiful thing. And and he even says it in some of these recent articles that have been published about him, like 1.0 early days Fish ain't got nothing on what's going on right now. The music is just it's come a long way. Yeah. What? Oh, yes.
Because I find that most of the time.
No. It's very, very true. And if you're like one of these fans who like goes to a Prince show,
wait,
and you want to see,
Jim, do they play or have any kind of following outside the North America?
Japan and Europe, they have a small following, but not enough probably to garner another. They've been to Europe twice, and they've been to Japan twice. And there are diehard fans here, and there are diehard fans there. But I think it's kind of like Oasis coming to the States. There's fans, but they're not nearly as huge as they are in North and Canada. Of course, they have, and they go to Mexico every year, and they do that Mexico tour too. Yeah, but even though that's not really Mexican fans, but
Jim, could you use an article on Fish for your magazine?
I could, but I would prefer not. I don't want my new thing going forward. I don't want anyone written about in the paper who's even eligible for Social Security.
I'm not even close, man. I'm the youngest kid on the panel.
How old are Fish? Are they 60?
They're 62. 62. Yeah. Oh, you want? I see.
That'd be good. I want 80s. I want 80s. Yeah, I do. I'd like Fish. 80s would be good.
I bet if you put Fish on the Jim, if you put Fish on the cover, it would be good. I think.
Yeah.
Fish is a great fucking band, and it's so easy to hate on them, but there's so much musical appreciation to be had there, and even though like it is also a badge of honor that they didn't get inducted, and you almost want them to like, because of course they'll get inducted, of course they'll get nominated again, and there's this thing, I guess, apparently that whoever that vote that. The People's Choice vote that counts as one of the 1,200 votes, barely, I think, and famously, the person who's always last on that list always ends up getting into the Hall of Fame, and I think the person who's always first on this list gets snubbed a year. I think that's I read that.
But how many? You think you do time out in eligibility, right? With that one of their roles.
There's some stat that like Jay-Z got in and he was the last on the list.
I'm curious. Any that the five of us here, not Brian, I want you to answer this. Okay. Can any of you name 3 Fish songs, original Fish songs?
Come on, Harry, you got this. Come on.
The one I can name is Wilson.
Okay. That's okay. That's cool.
I know that's not a barometer.
It just makes me love them all.
Hey, I'll say this. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry. Ben, shut up, Harry. You had ample time to keep your trap shut.
You were our only hope.
Ben and Jerry's fish food is excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But Mazzy,
I gave it to my fish.
It's just a curiosity. Because like around that same time, we can name U2 and REM.
Yeah, exactly. And they've just flown under the radar. It's just they've flown completely under the radar. And Jim, Record Store Jim, as a Zappa head, there's Trey repeatedly attests, to Zappa as one of his super guitar heroes. Of all the shows I've seen, there's so few people who have just captured an entire stadium's attention like Zappa has, or Santana, I think, was another one, and Jerry was another one. But if you love that guitar virtuosity that you were talking about earlier, there's nobody better. It's all in Trey's playing, and the dynamic of the 4-headed monster, that was the Beatles. I mean, Fish. I'm not gonna compare them, but there's a thing they're greater than the sum of all their parts, and they got a bluegrass thing. They're like steeped in barbershop quartet and bluegrass and jazz, and they can play. And Genesis, they inducted Genesis into the Hall of Fame. And it was kind of a goofy induction, but some of these inductions, like I was saying a moment ago, like Leon Russell inducted by Elton John, is one of the most tender, heartfelt, heartwarming, timeless performances inductions you'll ever see, followed by a duet doing Your Song, My Song, Song for You, with Your Song. Your Song.
Song for You.
No. There's a duo. Yeah, Elton's is Your Song, but Leon's is a Song for You. And he does it with John Mayer, and this piano and guitar and John Mayer. Say what you want to say about John Mayer, but this performance will steal your heart. And okay, we don't care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but when you see some of those guys get up there and you see Mick Jagger say I'd like to think there's a lot of there's a lot of good people used to say we were right, and I don't know, you just want to see those in this the stuff legends are made of, and Fish will get inducted into they'll get at least nominated again. Maybe they will age out, maybe they'll never get in. It'll be totally appropriate that they don't, but if they do, and they snub him once just to do it, just because they have to, and then they let him in the second time.
I don't think people are upset, or I wouldn't be upset if Fish got in, but I think what happens with other people, all of us and people in the peanut gallery, that we think, like for me, I just found out that John Mayer is in it. Not John Mayer, Dave Matthews. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, compared to, and the reason, it's not that I hate that he's in, someone like him is in, but I'm thinking of the 20 other people that should be in before
that's
Dave
one of the
Matthews.
most boring.
I think you're selling Dave Matthews for it. I love Dave Matthews, but I hear your point about letting other people in before whoever. But look at this. Okay, pick anybody. You can say that about anybody in the rock and roll. I mean,
absolutely.
The whole thing is it's a subjective judgment, right? And I mean, it's art and music, and it's it's what you like, right? It's just what you like.
But it is 1,200 people.
I hate people that make that argument.
But there is no objective measure. It's not like
Fish. Yeah, Fish needs to up the auto tune. If Fish would just auto tune, to get right in.
For a minute,
maybe if they spell their name right.
All you people making deathbed proclamations. Brian, here's a good indicator. What is the most ridiculous cover version that Fish has ever done? Have they covered a Taylor Swift song?
Revolution.
Oh, I know the tune. I know the tune. Get jiggy.
Number 9.
Get jiggy with it.
Let Brian talk. Say it, Brian.
It's probably, I don't know. There's a gajillion of them, but it could be Sabotage by the Beasties. It could be Smells Like Teen Spirit. It could be like a weird. They've done it all, but I'm gonna go with
Get Jiggy with It by
Get Jiggy with It by Will Smith.
I like
Fish. Scott, of course it's subjective.
I like him, and I do think
it's my opinion only. It's only my opinion.
Yeah, hold your head, or what's the Suspicious Mind? The Killer says. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'll stop there.
So has anybody read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? You know that book?
Oh, sure.
I read half of it. I couldn't finish it.
Well, I read it back in college because everybody that wanted to be a cool kid read that book, and I wanted to be a cool kid. So, but that book, what that is, the guy goes crazy over the fact that you can't define quality. And at the end of the day, quality is just what you like. And that's where Fish is. I mean, and that's where the Hall of Fame is. And you can't get upset about it. It's just some subjective sense of this is really good, this has had an impact, and this deserves to be in. And that's fine. That's fine. It's just somebody's opinion.
There's 2 comments I want. Can someone send me a link to this? Roger's saying, but here, someone who made this other one, Love Supreme. I want a link to them playing Love Supreme. Please, someone send me it.
Fish playing Love Supreme? I don't even know that. I don't know about that one.
I don't either.
I'm not sure if I can drop a link in here, but this is the. Can I drop a link? That's the article where Trace. Yeah.
Which I like Brian's t-shirt, but I wanted to show this one given everything that's going on politically. I picked this up in Berlin 15 years ago at what used to be Checkpoint Charlie, which was the hole in the wall, the door in the wall that you could go through. And this is basically saying you are leaving the American sector. And so it's a memento from when Russia was not our best friend.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Robert.
Can you put Dan B's comment up there? I want to comment on that.
What?
Dan B's comment. Actually, McDonald's isn't bad. I ate a kid's meal the other day. His mother was furious.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You know what? If you ever get an opportunity to go to the Pacific Northwest, it's not that hard to stone Dr. Robert and Harry. Maybe if you get the opportunity, they'd be in the same area.
Yeah, that's why Harry and I need to be careful.
You know what, Dan B? That's a losing statement. McDonald's fries satisfy someone. They're the best.
McDonald's Diet Coke tastes better than anybody else's.
Well, no, hold on. Actually, McDonald's Coke tastes better than anyone else's.
It's because of the ice and the straw.
No, it isn't. Coca-Cola actually makes a special mixture for McDonald's. That is a fact. So the best tasting Coca-Cola you could get, other than the
And
Mexican
so
Coke.
if it's so great, why don't they sell it?
Well,
everywhere.
they do. Hold on. Mexican Coke is the best. 'cause
Mexican
it uses
Coke's great. I'm not a Coke guy, but
Can I finish
Mexican-
talking, you putz?
Wow.
no.
The Mexican Coke uses real cane sugar, but the mixture in the US with the stupid laws of corn syrup, the McDonald's Coke is the best. It's
Yeah,
a
I
fact.
actually get like a Jones for Diet Coke every now and then. It's like I just gotta
I can't
have
eat
one.
that.
That's that phenylalanine, man. Oh,
Bob Jones. Well, I've heard that the Trump administration is now banning paper straws. Have we heard that one? So that we can
Yeah.
go back to plastic straws.
Well, actually, hold on.
And I took a shower today. I had water pressure.
Hold on. Okay, so here's the deal.
All you gotta do is take that little.
I never
McDonald's,
had that with Biden.
guys, shut up. I'm talking.
Nobody cares.
McDonald's
for too long.
quietly, over the last couple of years, quietly have developed a non-toxic plastic straw that's biodegradable that is as good as the old plastic straw.
Yeah, it melts in
Okay,
your mouth.
I hate
Harry.
paper straws fall apart instantly. The
Oh.
straw that McDonald's uses now is biodegradable. So we'll
What?
go to that straw.
Well,
You
must
know, Harry, you can
This
take
Soylent
the
Green.
you can take
Right.
the little screen out of your shower head to get rid of the low flow. The only thing is you'll be paying more water bills, but you'll get that water pressure you want.
Because I need it because of my wonderful hair.
Yeah, you can do it on almost any shower head. Maybe there's some they change. I don't know, but
I think what
Everyone,
you
you've
do-
earned.
You
go
put a
pick
washer
up
in
some
there,
Japanese
so then
Coke.
it increases the pressure.
I'm just going to ask one political question of Brian. What do they think of
Oh.
our fearless felon in Japan?
They don't.
Okay.
So he's
You
not
guys, they don't. No, not the entire world is not all paying attention at America.
well, most of it is actually because it's affecting the
No, it's
entire
not,
world.
Mazzy. It's not.
Well, maybe not Japan, but seriously, I mean, Canada, the UK, Germany, the rest of Western Europe.
Look, Japan exports a lot of stuff to the US. It's got to be a decent part of their economy. In fact, it would be horrible if all the Japanese investments in the US, like the car companies, decide not to sell anymore here. That would be bad for us. Bad, huge bad.
we made a deal. We made 90 deals in 90 days.
Right.
So it's
right.
don't worry
Hey,
about
You know
it.
what?
I was on the
I-
show before. If
Sub
anyone,
deal. There were sub
since you're
deals.
the jazz guy, if anyone's interested, and I haven't heard this one, but they're now shipping Bitches Brew MoFi and the MoFi Miles Davis stuff, except Kind of Blue, all are excellent. And this is 33, not 45. So
The one stuff is a 33. I have
Yeah.
the regular 45 version of that from MoFi. It's perfectly fine.
yeah, me too. I don't need it, but I just want
Now,
to
Harry, do you like that album, Harry?
It's okay. I mean, it's not my go-to, but
But
I
if
play
you,
it now and then.
you smoke a doobie and listen to it, it's good.
I like that shit.
Well, that's true with any
Love
record, just about,
All right, guys, we're
except
past
for Mac Davis.
Okay.
past 9 o'clock. I have a lot
You
to
got to
do
listen
today.
to.
Remember, next Wednesday morning on Harry's channel,
9 a.m.
Harry's channel, the big 60s Beatles trivia with Harry and myself, or
Now,
Harry looking like Steve Carlson, one or the other.
And now,
And
Harry,
it's being
Harry-
hosted by Rachel.
Hosted by Rachel.
Now,
Oh,
Harry,
wow.
Harry, you still
Yes,
have
yes,
time
Rob.
to get in your payment so you can promote this on Tuesday's live stream. Okay.
My payment? Oh,
Yeah,
for
you have
you?
to pay- You have to pay to promote your shit
You
here.
know,
on live
okay,
stream.
Rob, I got one thing for you. And would you go after every day, every time this is about to end, you got the same wankers at the end asking this bullshit link joke. Like it's not funny anymore.
Okay, well, here's the deal.
Yes, it is.
Richard
that didn't
James,
happen, I
hold on,
wouldn't-
right there.
I would've missed it.
Richard James is a weird fellow. He walks, talks, and smells like a troll, but I feel he's not a troll. What are your
not at
thoughts?
all.
And I'm actually t-shirts should be made by you, Richard James. I've given you this moniker.
Richard James.
Would
is
you
much
shut
more
up?
iconic.
Shut up! I'm talking. Richard James has never met a live stream that he didn't like.
He
That
should
is
make T-shirts that say "link, please."
Anybody with 2 first names is suspect. Come on.
You know, one thing before we
That's
leave,
true.
I'm troubled by.
Yeah.
Paul, you're American. You look like an American. You talk like an American. Why the fuck did you type flavor with a U in it? I would like to know. Please.
I write color with
Yeah,
the U.
I got a
Fancy
question.
there.
A quick question. When I try to do memes using Chat GPT, it never spells anything in English. It always looks like it's some weird Russian text. What the
Well,
fuck?
Just go to a
There's your
meme
answer.
generator and make your own meme. Do you want to know something, Harry? I just made a meme for the stream this morning. James, I used a meme generator to make this. James. Thank you.
Now, if you
Who's
want to
that?
just give me a minute or two, there were other ones besides this that were pretty good, but Mazzy didn't like them because it didn't have a martini in the glass.
Well, you know,
because
you
it
know,
looks like it doesn't even look like you. It barely looks like me.
you
The only
know,
reason it looks like me is
It's
glasses.
hard. Come on, that looks exactly like you.
I don't have round glasses. It looks like
I
no.
recognize Mazzy there, but I have to say, Harry,
It looks like Sherman and Peabody.
hey,
We can get a little closer on your.
Harry, I believe I answered. You wanted to ask me a question privately, but I think you went over it publicly here, right?
Yeah, and just on how to promote it, where to put it. Do I do it on
I
YouTube?
say
Everywhere.
Mazzy's a lover of the YouTube.
Well, everywhere. I'm saying
No, I mean, if
But-
it's going to be on, if I'm going
How
to
many you
broadcast
have?
it on YouTube, but I'm going
You
to
do
stream
have-
it through StreamYard, right?
Okay, here. All right. Here's a bigger suggestion. Have you posted like the live stream about like it's the link that's happening? Have you done that yet?
Not. That's what I'm asking. Where do I post that?
No, you set up the live stream and it'll be on your channel.
So I set it up on StreamYard. I share it to YouTube.
you schedule it. Yeah.
And you schedule it and
okay.
it'll be there. That's you should do that. That's what I do usually the day before for my live streams.
The best thing, Harry, would be to just have Mazzy promote it since he's got the numbers.
Actually,
Look, if I get a decent
Harry-
thumbnail,
Harry, if you want, I can make a little video that you can put on your channel.
Absolutely, absolutely, please.
All right.
That'll cost
Do I have
you
carte
And
blanche?
Mazzy, you're welcome to make a better cartoon.
I'm
than
not
if
good
you
at that. Rob's the better one.
It's
Okay,
good to see
wait,
good to see you, Marty. Hang in there, man. Go fish. Go fish.
All right. If we're ending now, does
Well, who's
anyone want to
Marty?
I don't know.
Brian.
I gave him a link. He didn't-
Brian,
Sorry,
I knew
Brian.
what you
You're
were-
not
I knew what you
Marty.
were saying. I knew what you were
Brian.
saying. Yeah. It's all good.
gone fishing.
So when
Right.
is this the battle of the record cleaners?
Oh.
Are we
He's
live?
gone. He's
All right,
gone.
I'm ending the stream, everyone. You can go
Later.
communicate privately with everybody. Bye.
See you guys.